Hey guys, it's Gamer here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a little challenge I thought of. Some other channels have covered it, but I've got a little twist, and that is a wheel spin drift build. So what I'm going to be doing is getting the first vehicle I win off a wheel spin, and then turning this into, hopefully, a drift beast. Or, if it is absolutely terrible, I'll be selling it in the auction house for the minimum buyout, so I'll be making a massive loss on the vehicle. Now, this is the first episode, so if you want to see this challenge twisted in any way, put that down in the comments. I'd be really intrigued to see what people come up with. Alrighty, so we are going to exit our house, and as you can see, it is winter, so it is going to be easier to slide. Now, if you want to see more from me, then make sure to subscribe. You'll be able to see more gameplay like this, and maybe some more challenges in the future. Alright, so this could go very well, or it could go terribly, but we'll have to see. Righty, so first wheel spin. Oh, what's gonna be? Oh, nothing yet? Okay, so we've got 5 grand. Oh, another 5 grand. Okay, no car yet. Oh, a Viper? Oh, okay. Oh, I would have won an F100 after anyway. Yeah, so we've got a Viper. It's going to be very interesting to see what we can do. Right, so since we have just won that Viper and it's going to be our drift build, let's try and make this thing a little better for it. So closer up, we can see that this is a 1999 Dodge Viper GTS Acr. So it has a pretty hefty V10 under the bonnet, so it's got plenty of power, but I'm guessing we're going to need to do some more suspension mods to be able to get this thing to slide. Righty, so getting in this vehicle, we can see it's got a very primitive lock. It's got a manual shifter, which is good to see, and we've got that massive V10 engine under the hood. So I won't be upgrading it to another engine, I'll be using this exact same engine. I may turbo or supercharge swap it, we'll have to look. Okay, well, let's go into the upgrade shop and we'll see what we can do. So first off, let's have a look at what we can do for conversions. Now, obviously, all-wheel drive, and we can't do an engine swap. Okay, so we can do a twin turbo setup, so no single turbo. We can do a positive displacement supercharger, or a centrifugal supercharger. For this build, I think I'm going to go with twin turbos just to make this thing a little more insane. Now, aero. I'm not exactly sure if I want to put any aero in this thing. Sometimes downforce is good to have a planted car when drifting, but I'm probably going to leave it off. So I'm going to do the engine mods just straight off, just max it out. I know it's probably not the best way to go for it, but I just want to see how silly I can make this vehicle. Pistons, oh, that's actually not the right one. Race pistons. Okay, so we are currently at 602 kilowatt. That's at a mountain horsepower. And if we go up 2 more, we're making 686. Wow. So we'll be putting that on, upgrading the intercooler, putting some better oil cooling, and a better flywheel. Righty, brakes. Now, I do hope this has drift suspension, because if it doesn't, I'm in big doo-doo. Race, rally, drift. Okay, that is good news. Okay, race. So basically, this is just a max out build for the moment. I may do another challenge in the future where I do a budget, but not for this one. Okay, race weight reduction. And this thing is only 1.3 tons. Driveline, we definitely need this. We are also going to need a 2-way diff and upgraded driveline. Now, for tires, I'm not going to be putting the max tires on here. I'm going to be putting on, I think, the sport compound and put the pressure up a little bit because street may be a bit too slippy. So that is on. I'm going to put the fronts at a 295. Wow, the rears are 335 stock. Damn, that's wide. So we have 345 and 355. I think I'm going to leave it stock at 335. Rims, this is going to be obviously personal preference. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but give me a minute.
2 hours later.
Now, I'm maybe looking at these rotiform FUCs. They don't really suit the vehicle, but at the same time, it kind of gives a older muscle look, so we'll go for that. Now, tire size, I'm actually going to go with 19s at the front, see what we can do at the back. Oh, this is also 19. Yeah, I'll stick with it. And for the front width, we are going to be, actually, that is pretty far out on the widest. I think I'll do that. Looks like some sort of Formula Drift vehicle. Okay, what's the widest look like? Oh, that's a lot of meat. I actually may put it at the second one. So there we go. I'm quite intrigued to see how this thing will go. So basically, I have fully upgraded it, and I've spent nearly $70,000 on it. So let's tune it. Now, I'm not a great tuner, just saying it out loud. So what I'm going to be doing for the rear tires, bumping up the pressure, I think around there will be good for the moment. Gearing, oh, okay, need more acceleration. So actually, I may be putting it up a little more. I want the acceleration to be better, but lower top speed. You know what, I think that's alright for now. We'll have to see what this thing is like when I drive it, but this is basically a shakedown. Don't think I'm going to be doing anything here. Anti-roll bars, I'll probably keep them the same. Springs are already as low as I want. May stiffen up the front just a little bit, just for a little test. Damping, I'm probably going to leave it around the same. I don't know how to tune vehicles, sadly. Downforce, can't do that. The balance on the brakes, I'm probably going to keep it up a little bit more, 105%. Differential, 100% locked. Alright, and there we go. We have pretty much done a starter tune for this drift build. Also going to get a random paint job and yeah, make it look the part. So we've got this pretty cool livery. I think I'm going to stick this on. It's obviously a more racing inspired one, but yeah, let's make this a silly drift build. So we have completed this build, and I must say, if it wasn't for the wheel spin, I never would have built a Viper in this way. It would have been a drag build or a top speed build. I actually like the rims, I think, now, and just all the poke and everything. It's pretty damn sick. Alrighty, well, what I'm going to do now is head out and see if this thing is any good or not. Oh lord, what have I got myself into? Let's just hope this thing isn't too terrible. I may have to tune it again, but we'll have to see. Oh yes, it also has the horrible Viper V10 sound in this game. Okay, so firstly cruising, I'm just going to go nice and slowly, and then I'll start ripping it. So we are coming up on the airfield, and I actually want to try and drift it around there. Seems like a good spot too. Alright, let's try this. Okay, this thing is not that stable first off. This may sound very weird to you guys, but in some ways it feels planted, and then in others it feels loose. Almost somewhat uncontrollable, and yeah, it's not a great drift car. Okay, let's try this part here. Maybe I'll get the hang of it. Yeah, this thing is snappy in current form. Well, since my tune is quite honestly terrible, let's try and fix it. Okay, tune car. I'm going to bring the tire pressure down a little bit, put the front up a tiny bit. Now, the thing is feeling a little snappy, so I'm probably going to have to mess around with the alignment. I'm going to put this thing up a little more, around 2 degrees, and see if that fixes it. Also, maybe putting the spring softness up a little bit on the front wasn't a great idea, so what I'm going to do is bring it down a little bit. Also bring the rear down to see if it feels a bit more floaty. And yes, I actually do want it to feel a little floaty, see if it improves the drifting ability. Right, well, I think I've done what I want to, so I'll leave it at that and see if it's still good after. Okay, let's rip it again. Okay, so this thing is feeling better drift-wise, but I'm finding that the gear ratios are not perfect. You can tell this wasn't supposed to be a drift car by any means. I've done this and it just feels a bit quirky. Now you'd think with the mixture of all this together that it would be a sick drift car, but it obviously isn't, and my tuning ability just hasn't worked out. Gonna try and tip it in again. Oh, that is close. You know, maybe if I went to a different location, it'd probably be better, because I'm just going around here and feeling it, and it's not that great, but this is a very open space. Oh, it had to be nighttime, didn't it? But yeah, that's just another challenge I'm having to face. So this is a little twisty section. I'm going to see if this thing is good at slow drifting. Oh, this thing is trying. So I'm having an issue where the thing just likes to track straight, and when you're trying to go sideways, that's not actually good. If I was going for a drag build, it would be great, but I'm not. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like the vehicle wanted to do this in the first place, and I've forced it upon it. Yep, you know what? I think I'm sadly going to have to admit defeat with this vehicle. It's not that great. Well, sadly, I think I'm going to have to list this thing in the auction house, where I'm going to be putting it at the minimum buyout, and someone is going to get an absolutely awesome deal. So before I put this on the auction house, I just want to see what these prices are going for these vehicles. So to see if people are actually going to get a proper deal on it. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, so they're priced pretty low, and that one actually has my livery on it. That's kind of funny. Now, this vehicle is not very expensive, so whoever wins mine is going to get a lot of value for money since I've put so much money into it. Well, it's time to say goodbye to this Viper. I sadly didn't do it very well. Hopefully I can do better in the next one, but half of it was the vehicle. It just didn't feel like it wanted to slide. Okay, so auction car. Right, 8,000. 123,000 buyout price, auction length an hour, confirm. Well, there we go. It is on the auction house. So someone is going to get a great deal on a Viper with a mediocre drift build, which I recommend not to drift themselves, but yeah, I tried. Righty, well, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more like this, then make sure to subscribe. And if you want to see more of this challenge, then put some other ideas down in the comments. Alright, I'll see you later, and peace.